Hey guys, I'm going to be talking today about transpiration. So notice how when we look at these kind of images about the water cycle, you see, oh yeah, okay, we got water down here. It warms up, it evaporates as vapor. Notice how the word vapor is in evaporate. It vaporizes, evaporates into the sky. It cools off because the higher you go, the cooler it gets. It cools off into clouds. Condensation occurs. Once the clouds get heavy enough and so full of rain, they just precipitate water back onto the ground. And it might run off the mountain or surface. And then eventually the water on the ground warms up again and goes back up, especially water in bodies of water like the ocean or lakes or rivers. So that's what we've been talking about, the water cycle. But what's this one all about? Transpiration from plants. Notice how there's an arrow going up from the plants too? How does that work? So over here, I drew a little picture. We have a tree. And notice how a tree, as you all know, have roots in the bottom, and the roots hold the tree in place so it doesn't fall either way when the winds blow. But the roots also bring water into the tree. And the water doesn't just live at the bottom of the tree, it actually goes up throughout the tree. So the whole tree can have some moisture in it. So the water goes up through these cells called xylem cells, and those are specially designed to push the water up into the top part of the tree, and it goes out into the branches and into the leaves. And if it's warm enough, the water from the leaves will often evaporate into the air, and that's the way the tree cools itself. So it's always bringing water up like a straw up through the roots into the whole tree. And once it gets to the end, the water it doesn't need will just evaporate into the air, and then more water will be pushed back up. So trees are always releasing this water into the atmosphere. So when you see this transpiration, oh yeah, the trees are just bringing water from the ground into the atmosphere too. So we're going to do a little experiment today with plastic bag and tape, and I'm going to see if I cannot capture a little bit of water from the leaves in my yard that are going to be transpiration. So let's check it out. Let's go out to my yard. Here we go. So the first thing you want to do is watch out for a dog, because they might ruin your science experiment. Okay, so I've got this little magnolia tree that I planted recently. And I've got 2 plastic bags. I think I'm going to try this one here. It's like a Ziploc bag you might freeze stuff in. So I'm going to find some leaves. Let's see. Also, another important thing is you want to get a tree that's evergreen, that has these waxy leaves. Otherwise, if you get a deciduous tree, like for instance that maple, notice how all the leaves are falling off right now? They're not going to have hardly any water in those leaves, so we don't want to use a deciduous tree. We want to use an evergreen tree. Evergreen means that it's always green and that the leaves are always around, year round. Okay, so find a little spot like this. I'm just going to cover up a few of these. Hopefully this won't be too hard on my plant. And once I have it over, I'm going to close it up best I can, just like that. Try not to let too much air be in there. And then we're going to tape it just to make sure that it's really tight. So what we want to do is we want to see if we can capture the water that's going in from the roots up throughout the tree and is being released into the atmosphere. So I'm going to put a little tape right there, and then as the week progresses, I'm gonna be checking to see if I can collect any water at that lowest point. I'd add a little bit more tape. And if you have a bag like this is a bread bag, you could use that too, it doesn't matter. You just wanna kind of tighten at the bottom and then tape it there too. So I'm just gonna try this one though, and we'll see how it works. You can do this at home too.